Well, for decades, the Illinois Association of Hispanic State Employees has worked to provide opportunities for Latinos. Part of it is training, but a lot of it is outreach. Is state government representative of our communities? That's part of the question that Carlos Charneco, IASE board member, and Blanca Vargas, also an IASE board member, are hoping to explain and break down for us. Welcome to the both of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let's start with IASE and what it does, what it represents. I know that I talked about training, but it goes beyond that, and it's reaching out to the Latino community to try to get them in as state employees.
Correct. It's reaching out. It's working with our own state workers to help recruit other state workers. It's also the association reaching out to state agency directors and our legislators as well, so they can understand how impactful it is when the community doesn't have access because of language barriers or a cultural competency. So that's those things that are really important to us. There's a lot of services being provided, not just for the unemployed or the underemployed, but even the professional people when it comes to getting licensed to be a lawyer or a nurse. We want people there that basically reflect the culture as well of who we are and be representative there. So that's an important factor for us.
Yeah. Blanca, you've been a part of this organization for years. I know you and I have talked about this in the past. Have you seen it evolve and change through the last decade, whereas maybe perhaps 10 years ago we only had a small percentage of Latinos in state government? It has now grown.
Well, if I concur with Carlos, it has increased lightly, in my personal opinion. I wish there would be more, but it's actually we need management to actually hire more bilingual staff to work in state government in order for us to have more Latinos to serve our community.
What is the percentage right now, Carlos? Where does it stand?
Well, under the executive office, which is the governor's office, of the 44,000 employees that work under the governor, approximately about just a little over 6% are Latinos, which is about a little over 2,800 employees.
But when you look at the workforce overall in Illinois, let's not talk about state government, but just overall, that percentage is so much higher when it comes to Latino workers.
Absolutely. Latinos generally, if you look at the American Community Survey census in general, and also as far as labor participation, we account probably between 15 to 16% of the labor force in Illinois. So obviously state government should reflect that similar. We should be in the double digits. Okay,
so 6% as opposed to 14%. That's a big gap. So that's a big difference. How do you close the gap a little bit more? What can be done?
Well, there are two things we try to do. Obviously, one is to educate our agency directors, all right, of the importance of having hiring processes in place and outreach recruiting. The second thing is to really educate our community how to apply for state employment, seek career as a government worker.
Why is that a turnoff for them, or why are they not doing that? I would think that would be sort of an easy thing or an easy go-to, but it's not.
Well, I think with state agencies, you always, especially with directors, you have to really, every year we meet with directors and we say, this is where you are with your numbers, because sometimes they're more programmatically inclined to view things in their agency versus their labor force. And we try to bring that perspective to say, if you want to do a better job of serving the Latino community, which is it's a big taxpayer base in Illinois, right? We generate a lot of tax dollars, so you need to pay attention to that community. And you need to pay attention in the way you post jobs and how you go about interviewing people and the lack of outreach with your agency. This is important. We also stress this with the legislators who obviously deal with the appropriations aspect. And we have, to their credit, we have a number of Latino legislators who have put the directors on the spot as to what's going on. Why do you have such a small number of Latinos in your agency?
Okay, go ahead.
And that's the reason why we are encouraged to have more bilingual staff to apply in state government in order for them to have the opportunity to work for state to help our community, especially bilingual. So there are some individuals that are monolingual, Spanish speaking, so therefore we need more bilingual staff. And that's why Carlos has been working very eagerly in terms of having more job fairs. And that's why we're having a job fair on the day of the conference.
Yeah, because I think
we can recruit more Latinos.
Yeah, a lot of people sort of feel like they need to have that connection or that networking connection to be able to get a job in state government. Tell me about the event you've got coming up.
So we have the event on September 28th, which is our annual training conference, our 31st year. We're providing professional development to our staff so they can move up in state government as well, and also handle workplace issues, and also to better serve and engage our community. The other aspect is the job fair, which is also a resource fair for the community. So we're going to have a workshop for the public on how to apply for state government with some tips, where we're looking to hire. We have Department of Human Services is our largest state agency. They're always hiring. They employ over 800 Latinos to begin with out of the 13,000. So Department of Revenue is looking to hire a lot of people as well as Department of Human Rights with investigators. So we know that there are jobs, and we want our Latinos to apply, and we want to teach them how to go about applying for those jobs.
Okay.
One key element, too, is that there's really a lack of effort, I think, with some of the state agencies to do a good faith effort to recruit Latino veterans. Veterans are given preference in state hiring, so we do focus as an association to make sure we hire enough Latino veterans in state government.
Okay, and Blanca Vargas, a great example. First Latina committee woman in Cicero, right?
Yes.
Did I get that
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Well, thank you so much to the both of you, and good luck with the job fair that's coming up and the string of events that you put together throughout the year.
Thanks. We're looking to hire, social workers, accountants, fiscal people. It's clerical support people. So the jobs are out there for everybody, whether you have a college degree, a master's degree, or just a high school education. There's going to be positions available.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Carlos.